Okay, August 10. It's time. My back is hurting. I should have been cutting grass today on Saturday. God bless y'all. How you doing? Hang in there. Yeah, here at the China shop. Rich has got his cart done. It's ready to go. We bled the brakes. It's ready. She's ready to go. He didn't put his. He's making a new bracket. In his defense, he is making a new bracket so we can get his beacon receiver deal on here, so I don't even have to ask him, hey, what RPM was it running, what spark plug temp did it? I can just go over to the gauge and ask the data. Rich has never been, sorry Rich, has never been good at sharing much for data, so he's pretty much ready to go. We worked on Bray's cart while our patience were being tested with this one here. We worked on Bray's cart and went with direct, that's right, direct throttle. I don't know if ain't got enough hands to do this. You kind of have to hold the carburetor in place to do it, but as you can see, it's no more governor. These are the leftover parts here. I took the death wheel and cut the governor arm right off. Bingo, done. Left the rest of it on the top of the motor so it doesn't drop into the engine, you know. Cut some of the that throttle plate away, this piece here, this piece that's bolted down that this thing functions on, just so we didn't have any problem clearing any of this apparatus here. This was a piece, it's snap ringed on. It was already part of this thing, just like the end over here, I think. So pretty cut and dry. We obviously haven't run it yet. You got to bolt the air filter and stuff on to hold the carb in place. But had an interesting issue with just that short little bit of throw there. I mean, that's not very much, and it's wide open. What was going on was we had the cable around the top of the top hole of the pedal, and from zero to wide open was about that much. So this thing was going to be like a light switch, right? Boom! And you see the kid's already, getting, this thing's got the torque. Man, I got it hooked up so he can go wide open if he wants to. There's plenty of pedal now. Plenty of pedal. Everything moves an inch and a half, maybe 2 inches. So he can ease into it. There's plenty of slop in the cable, right? We ended up having to move the pickup point down. I drilled a hole right through the pedal and put a piece of nylon brake line through the hole, then ran the cable through the brake line. Bada boom, bada bing. This gives him a lot more throw to the pedal and a lot more less sensitive, more feel to the throttle. Yes, I'm gonna give him full power right out of the gate, but I'm gonna tell him, hold on there, little cowboy, you know. And if he freaks out and he doesn't like, then I'll bring the wrenches and we'll stop the pedal, and that way he can hold it down and do what he's got to do. But at some point, the kid's got to learn. It'll only go as fast as he makes it go. When he's if it had a two-stroke on it, you can't pedal stop a two-stroker down, man. So I'm going to use a Bob Kurkowski-ism and say it is what it is. We're super happy with how this turned out. Was doing this while Kenny ran off to the Menards for me. Chisler, I think he just wanted gas money out of me. But we had a little bit of an issue. We got the motor on the cart, chain cut, chain on. We drilled little tiny holes in our bearing shields and oiled our bearings. So our bearings got lubed now after cleaning them out. You use carb cleaner or whatever, get it all cleaned out of there. They're virgin. You got to get something in there. So we worked on a bunch of stuff here, bending this rod. Man, it is tight. Look how tight everything is on these carts, man. Good Lord. I mean, it is tight. Let me hold you right in there, folks. Right? And I couldn't put this on. The engine had to be tilted just to slip that on. I still got to put the bolt in there yet. But these things are they're a cluster F. It's almost like working on a Japanese car, back in the old days. My mom had a little Honda Civic, and we had to change a water pump in it. There was 5 of us in the garage, and it took the patience of all of us, and all day long, and a couple hole saws, to be able to change that water pump, because you had to remove so much of the car just to get there. You literally, I mean, let's be honest, engineers, they don't design things to be worked on. If you got to pull the engine out to change the water pump, then that's what you got to do. They don't care. They're the engineer. They're never going to work on the car. And I think we got the same damn thing going on here with these Italian go-karts, man. This is ridiculous. How everything's tight. And why isn't this seat strut shaped like that seat strut? Why isn't it up here? Why isn't it out of the way? Why is this? What a mess. But anyway, we got the motor on. I had to send Kenny to Menards to get the rivet nuts, insert nuts, to go back in here to hold this adjuster deal on. We had to remove the CRG stock standard metric ones when we went 50 millimeter. Right, we put a bigger cassette in there, and it was hitting the back side of their insert nut that held the adjuster on. So we had to drill them out. So now we got the American ones, and they just barely cleared the front edge of that bearing cassette. So we could actually use the tool to set them. Long story short, I over-tightened the first one, and they're steel inserts. And I thought I only had 2. So Kenny had gotten here. I went in, I called Menards. I was going to go up to Port Huron, 25 minutes, half an hour up the road, to get a couple of 2-3 packs at $4 a pack. There's 12 of them in a package. That's when Kenny says, well, why don't you throw me some gas money and I'll go down to the other store and get them for you. So I did. Everything happens for a reason, right? God didn't give me a bad day out here, but he certainly allowed it to happen, because Kenny probably needed $10 woof of gas. Okay. So I send Kenny off to get these things, and I start working on Brayden's go-kart, and I was going to put a bolt through that hole in the pedal, but I drilled it too close. Drilled it too close to that tab right there that holds that back stop on the pedal. So I ended up having to go the direction I did. But when I was looking for hardware for Brayden's kart, I'm going through the nut and bolt container, and guess what I found? That's right. 3 more steel quarter-20 insert nuts, right? Or riv nuts, what we call them. So, with Kenny's $10 worth of gas, for $12 in tax and change. That's right, I burned about $25 for nothing. But, hey, we're in business. We're back in business. Everything's good. Don't have the carb on yet because we're going to go through it. I got notes on that carburetor. We're going to use the same Savtec setup that Tom Barth handed down to us years ago. It has been foolproof for us. We've never needed any hocus pocus with hoses and apparatus and magic cans and tanks and blah blah blah, and jets in your fuel line and none of that. None of it. This engine only revs to about 14.4, 14.6, so it doesn't rev to 15 or more like a Modena. But all this apparatus, all this blowing things up because you're actually running the thing out of gas. The float bowl is getting dry. None of that is. You didn't get that with TMs. You didn't get it with Vortex. You didn't get it with Maxsters. You didn't get it with Pavasis. You only get it with. This has only become an issue since this Modena. So I don't know what the deal is, but we're going to whoop on them with our Vortex. That's what we're going to do. It shifts. It upshifts and downshifts just fine. So from this point on, it's on. The gearbox has got oil in it. We were going to mount the coil and found that our rubber mounts were dry rotten, and the outside bit broke right up, but pulled right off. So we got to get us some hardware. We're going to use some rubber donuts in there, get our brand new coil bolted on. Then we'll get our carburetor on. We got a fuel pump. Yeah, don't know what we want. I want to put a floor tray from here to here, just so I can run. I mean, look at all the work we did. Me and Rich kind of did. He was kind of helping me out a little bit, pushing on the seat to make sure G-force wasn't going to cause any trouble. We got this thing missing the seat now when we shift, but now we're in the way of this. We're going to get a 90 on here, and where's it going to go? I don't know. I don't know. These ridiculous Italian go-karts. We didn't have this problem on a laydown, Bob. But there you go. So that's the update for today. Richie's hooked up, ready to go. Bray, I'm going to put his air box and stuff back on, put his tire back on. We'll crank that thing up and see what it sounds like. He's ready to go this week when he's coming. So he'll be excited as all get out. I'm going to be excited about how that thing runs. And then we're making ground. We have Joe's pipe, KZ10B or whatever it was. The pipe is wrong for this motor. Look how high it is. It needs to be down here, and it's because the KZ10B, the cylinder leans back, right? So, do we fix that and then fix the hole? Or do I just take one of my laydown pipes and cut it the 3 times and re-rotate the cones and weld it back together so it just fits? I'm leaning more toward using my pipe. If I got to cut that one up 2 or 3 times, it's got a bunch of really thick, scaly rust on the inside of it. I think he may have used it for his downspout collector on his house or something. I don't know. Well, there's some heavy rust in here. It must have been outside or in a very humid place. So we may just use one of our own pipes out. It depends on what's going to be quicker. I think using our own pipe might be the better way to go. But we'll see. There's no oil inside that one. It's all rusty, so maybe it'd be easier to weld. But we're making some ground. We got our silencer out of the trailer. This came with our RV XX. Never used it. Never used it. So we will we'll get mounts and all that crap going for this year too. I don't know. We're going to wait with the pipe. We're going to get the rest of this stuff up and running first. Fuel pump, fuel system, carburetor on. Get my radiator will be here Tuesday at the latest, so we can get that going, that project going. We're a little over on time, so yeah, little at a time. And we're going to have issues the whole way. It isn't just going to fall right together. Obviously, as we're seeing, you're going to have problems. So pray for me, y'all. My patience are wearing thin already. Godspeed, God bless. It'll get better. It's coming together. Hang in there, y'all. We're praying for you.